Love him or hate him, Michael Saylor is one of the most recognizable figures in crypto. He's the man who bet billions on Bitcoin, turning his company, formerly known as MicroStrategy, into the biggest corporate Bitcoin whale in the world. Born in 1965, Michael Saylor was raised in a military family and lived in various U.S. Air Force bases around the world during his childhood. But after studying for a dual degree in aerospace engineering and technology at MIT, Michael became obsessed with the idea of using computers for business strategy. During the height of the computer boom in 1989, he co-founded MicroStrategy, a business intelligence software firm. And by 1998, MicroStrategy had gone public, and Saylor became a paper billionaire almost overnight. At the peak of the dot-com boom in 2000, Saylor was briefly worth over $13 billion. But fortunes built in the dot-com era rarely lasted. In 2000, the bubble burst. On top of that, the SEC charged Saylor and two executives with accounting fraud, and he paid over $8 million in penalties. His paper fortune evaporated, and MicroStrategy barely survived. Still, Saylor hung on. For 20 years, MicroStrategy drifted along as a respectable but unremarkable software business. He remained wealthy, but was no longer the star he once was. In 2013, he even tweeted that Bitcoin's days were numbered, which has aged as well as milk in the sun. Then came 2020, and the pandemic shook the world. Governments printed trillions, and inflation fears grew. MicroStrategy was sitting on $500 million in cash, and Saylor realized something. Cash wasn't safe. It was melting. Like an ice cube, as he said, and he didn't want to watch it drip away. After months of research, he flipped from skeptic to believer. Bitcoin wasn't a fad anymore. To him, it was digital property and the most reliable way to preserve wealth in a world where inflation seemed relentless. And so, on August 11, 2020, MicroStrategy adopted Bitcoin as its primary treasury reserve asset and bought 21,454 BTC for $250 million. It was a corporate first. For most CEOs, that might have been enough. For Saylor, it was just the beginning. Over the next few years, Saylor doubled down again and again. In late 2020, he raised hundreds of millions through debt just to buy more Bitcoin and kept repeating the playbook with every new opportunity. Even in 2022 and 23, when Terra, Celsius, and FTX collapsed and crypto sentiment was at an all-time low, he didn't stop. Fast forward to mid-2025, and MicroStrategy's holdings have grown past 600,000 Bitcoin. At some point, the company no longer looked like a software firm dabbling in digital assets. To many, it acted more like a leveraged Bitcoin ETF with a side business in analytics. So no one was surprised when Micro was dropped from its name in February 2025, because really, at that point, the strategy was obvious. Supporters hailed him as a visionary who gave corporations a blueprint, one that companies like Tesla and Block later followed. Critics, on the other hand, saw recklessness, comparing it to a Ponzi scheme as debt is raised to keep buying BTC. But Saylor leaned into it. Bitcoin is hope, as he so often says. As a bachelor with no children, he suggested that when he's gone, his Bitcoin would disappear with him, effectively reducing supply and, in his view, leaving the remaining holders better off. So from billionaire to bust, from skeptic to believer, Michael Saylor's story is perhaps one of the boldest pivots in corporate history. And whether he's a visionary or a gambler, well, that depends entirely on how Bitcoin's story ends. Now, if cash really does melt away, could Bitcoin truly take its place? Let's explore that next.